And now I'm going to use the Kodiak Canvas Tent Patch Repair Kit. Welcome everyone to Mav's Outdoor Adventures and this section on gear review and how-to. Well, it finally happened. After 6 years of heavy, hard use with my Kodiak 10x10 canopy tent, I finally had an accident. It was during our January over-the-counter Arizona mule deer hunt out in the desert, and for 2 to 3 days we experienced winds in excess of 40 and 50 miles per hour. On the third morning after our hunt, we returned to camp only to find that the 10x10 dining canopy set up over the open utility trailer was completely collapsed and blown over from the wind. It still stayed secured to the trailer, but 2 of the outside legs bent and one of them broke, and the broken end fell onto the canvas tent, thereby creating a small 1-inch tear in the canvas itself. Recently I ordered a repair kit from the Kodiak Tent Canvas Company right here. So we're going to show the contents of what's in the kit, and then we're going to take and install and repair the tear in the canvas fabric of the tent itself. So follow along and let's take this to the field. Now let's open up this canvas repair patch kit and see what we have. Well, little label, Kodiak Canvas. We have some instructions of how to apply the patch. We have a Tear Mender, which is an adhesive to be used with canvas. We have 3 different sizes of patches, 12 each, a dozen each. So we have 3 different sizes of patches that's included in the kit. And each one has 3 different colors: a beige, a dark canvas, and a white, and a dark piece of canvas, a beige, and a white, and then with the big 2-inch patch, dark, white, and a beige. So we got 12 patches of each size and color to coordinate with whatever section of the canvas tent that needs to be repaired. So it looks like a good little patch kit from the Kodiak Tent Company. So we're going to take and clean this off a little bit. Yeah, that's got to get in the canvas. You want to make sure that the area around the tear is very clean. And now we're going to let it dry. It looks like I'm going to try to match the patch color, and in the Kodiak kit they give you different colors of patches to match various places on the tent. So I'm going to go with this color here. I'm going to save the rest of these patches just in case I have another accident. It was 6 years to suffer my first accident with this tent, thanks to that windstorm. And basically, you take this Tear Mender, which is basic canvas glue, material glue, fabric adhesive. And once this dries, I'm going to put a little adhesive here and then a little adhesive on the patch. And then I'm going to press that together. I'm probably going to put a heavy... Okay, so I'm getting ready to put not just one, but I need to put 2 patches on because I found this tiny little tear that was from the cut edge of the broken canopy pole. So I'm going to be putting 2 patches on this canvas tent. So the area's been cleaned as well. So I'm going to use the smaller patch here, and I'm going to use the larger 2-inch patch right there. I took a look at this canvas and I thought about sewing and stitching a couple areas, but I don't have that special needle and thread. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and trust the Kodiak Canvas Patch Kit and patch these places. Also, next to the main tear, I found a little pinhole tear as well. So yeah, that one patch will cover, this one 2-inch patch will cover both those little tear holes. I'm going to take and put this piece of board inside the tent door, and luckily it's where I can reach these holes because I want to have a hard surface underneath to work on with the gluing. So we'll take and place this board under here. There we go. And now you can see I have a nice tight surface to glue to. So yeah, I'm going to have to fix the main tear and then a little pinhole tear and another little tear. Wow, that broken Amazon dining canopy pole really did a number on here. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to apply this Tear Mender glue. Quite liberally. Such as this. I want to get the glue right out to the edge of the patch. And I think this is going to be important so I can get a seal and some adhesive right out to the edges of the patch, because we know how loose edges tend to peel backwards. And press that in place. And I'm going to take my finger and smooth this glue that squirted out all around the edge of this patch here. I just want to make sure I get a really good adhesion here on this patch. And then before it completely dries, I'll pull the wood out from underneath so it doesn't dry to the wood. I thought about taking a patch and going underneath, and I'm going to do that on the larger tear. I'm actually going to put a patch underneath, but I'll glue the edges of it later. So let me get one more of these 2-inch patches out here. You know, if you buy this Kodiak tent, it's probably a good idea to buy this little patch kit with it, just so you have it on hand if anything happens. Because the thing with tears in material, whether it's canvas or any other material, if you're not careful with that tear and you don't fix it right away, that tear can grow and spread and make a small problem a lot worse than it is. So I would recommend that anyone who buys a Kodiak canvas tent pick up this Kodiak Canvas Patch Kit. So for now, I'm going to stick this bigger patch underneath the main tear. such as that. And then I'm going to work this glue down through the tear into and on that inside patch. And then later on, I'll go in when the tent's set up and I'll put glue around the edges of that inside patch. And so now I get the main patch repair ready here. Making sure I get the glue right to the edges of this patch. Put a good little bit in the center. It's kind of strange, that patch was actually shedding the glue, so it's almost like it was shedding it because it was a liquid. And now I'm going to place that over the patch like this. Use some of this spilled glue here to go on the outside of the edges. Just want to make sure I get a good seal. Such as that. Then I'm going to seal this glue up and save it in case I have another accident. Yeah, a little bit of glue came through the holes onto the board. But then I'm going to prop this up now with that board without putting pressure on the edges of the patch, and I'm just going to let this dry. I see that I'm going to put a little bit more glue here on this edge. It looks a little sloppy, but we'll see what it looks like when it dries. I just want to make sure that I have the patch's edge well covered, because if that edge comes loose, it'd be real easy for that patch to just peel away. Perhaps I should have put on some latex gloves before I handled all this, but I'm a little bit of a hurry today, so it'll have to do. Okay. Seal that up. This will go in my little tent kit bag, just in case I get any other rips or tears. Looks like it dries pretty quickly, so we'll check back in later here and see how this goes. Just looking around, make sure I don't have any other tears. This was the only area affected by the cut off, bent off dining canopy. But yeah, 6 years with this tent. This is my first accident, and it wasn't the tent's fault. It was the dining canopy and the windstorm that broke off and fell against the canvas and cut those holes and tears. Well, it's been about 3 hours since I applied these two patches. Here's the small patch. Here's the larger 2-inch patch. This patch covering the main tear of about 3/4 inch and the little pinhole, and this one covering a little tiny tear of about 1/4 inch. You can see the glue on the outside. Like I say, it's been about 3 hours, but it's pretty much dry to the touch. It's still a little bit tacky, so I'm going to let it dry another couple hours and check. But the glue did leave, a little yellowish stain here on the outside of the white canvas. But I've got it propped up with this board inside of here. So I've got it propped up, to allow air to get inside and under the tent patches here, so that I've got hot air, warm air here drying it out from the sun, and inside I've got some airflow, so there's air underneath drying it out underneath there as well. So we'll let it sit for a couple more hours, but the edges are nicely tacked down, so it is what it is. Okay, well, it's been a total of 5 hours for these patches to dry. You can still see that the exterior, the glue, the canvas glue, sort of dried a little bit on the yellow side, but indeed the edges are tacked down really well. It's also dry on the inside of the tent. Next test will be when I set up this tent, and I'm going to test this area by sprinkling some water, make sure it's water sealed. And then also I installed some grommets in the front awning of the tent, so it would adapt better to the optional wind awning that fits over on the front of the tent and offers a windbreak. So I need to set up the tent and test all this before I get going out there hunting season. Hunting season here is just a week away. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up icon, and to stay tuned for new video releases, please hit the red subscribe button. Appreciate all those who subscribe, help out this old guy's YouTube channel. So take care, everyone. See you soon. Mav Hunter out.